All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we are going to talk about Terence Crawford and a big controversy going around about whether or not he was using tampered gloves in the fight with David Advanesyan. Some people say they were tampered with. Other people suspect that the fight was loaded, the gloves were loaded, and in any case that the fight should not have continued. We got some clarity on that, so let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we are going to be talking about boxing gloves in the welterweight division. If you had not heard, you're living underneath a stone. Well, if you haven't heard about it, if you didn't see it, you'll be like most people that didn't watch that fight. But by now you should have heard something about Terence Crawford's fight with David Advanesyan and how in the middle of the 6th round, his gloves pretty much imploded. You see stuffing coming out of the glove while he's punching. And so obviously a lot of people were concerned, raised questions about it. And we're going to talk about what happened in this video and what the resolution of it is. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, this particular video I want to dedicate to my guy, Zenith360. Big concern about this particular issue. So making this video in large part for you, sir. And thank you so much for your support and everybody else that supports in the super chats, the cash apps, and in the super thanks in videos like this. And also, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Okay, so here we go. Basically, this is what the resolution of it is. At least this is out of the words from Everlast. Terence Crawford's gloves had split open, and I'm telling you, man, these things, they look like wow. They're like, there was something really, really wrong with those gloves. You don't just see you see the leather pulled all the way back off of the thumb of the glove. You see it ripped, it getting ripped at the seams, right? Not just the thumbs, but in the seams of the gloves, and with padding very, very clearly visible, completely busted up gloves. Now, there are some people that say, and I have not heard this myself, but I'm just going to tell you that it has been said that these gloves were busted, and Terence Crawford knew and his team knew that these gloves were busted before he got in the ring, right? So that, and then in the 6th round, right before the knockout completely imploded, they let when they saw it happen, they let the round continue. And according to some people, they said that they will make him switch the gloves at the end of the round. Now, why did the gloves do that? According to Everlast, who was the manufacturer of these custom gloves, the gloves, there was a defective. They were made with the defective batch of leather. So they're saying that there was no foul play on the part of Terence Crawford, no foul play, no intentional tampering of the gloves, but that it was a mistake on their part when they put together the custom gloves for Terence Crawford with the defective leather. Okay, so the manufacturer is saying that this is a manufacturer's error. Okay, now that makes a lot of sense to me, because there's something definitely wrong with those gloves. So anybody that may jump out there and say, hey, are they tampered? Were they loaded? What's the deal? Those are very real, very, very reasonable questions to ask, because you never see gloves do that, right? And people are not going to immediately know, okay, what caused it, right? But now that the Everlast says, no, that's our bad, that was a defective patch of leather, okay, then we can pretty much absolve Terence Crawford of any underhanded stuff. Now, when the gloves are busted, though, you probably shouldn't get in the ring with them. And if they start tearing in the ring, I'm not quite sure why the commission would say, okay, let's change these in between rounds. you could probably just stop that right there and change the gloves right there. Kind of like if you see somebody's tape come off and it's swinging all over the place and hitting somebody in the eye with the tape, you say, okay, stop. You walk them to the side. You do that. You take the time necessary to fix that problem, because clearly when your padding is coming out of your gloves in the ring, that may affect the punch. It may put the other guy in danger. So there's clearly a question about whether or not those guys, they handled that situation or not. Now, also want to talk about the idea that some people have brought up. Again, I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos about boxing, other than like Fight Hype and, the actual interviews going on, some smaller channels that I really like and like the debates going on. But some of these videos I've not heard, so please don't think I'm talking about anybody. I'm talking really about what has been told to me. But so if there have been comparisons and questions about why people are not behaving about this circumstance, like similarly to the manner in which people were talking about Tyson Fury. And I have to say that that is a very, very valid question to ask. Very valid question to ask. It really doesn't matter what type of defect you see in the glove, whether it's flopping this way and that way, right in the middle of the fight, like Tyson Fury 2, or whether you see clear knuckle imprints in a punch in the second fight, or if you say, for example, Tyson Fury and Nicholas Asbury, and you saw the original, saw the gloves that he was using in his sparring, which clearly had no padding. Whenever you see gloves that look like they're not acting normally, it makes sense for people to raise questions about it until they get an answer. And the difference between this particular situation with Terence Crawford and the one with Tyson Fury, in my opinion, is not related really to the what the particular thing was that happened to the gloves. If there's a glove issue, like say, for example, Dillian White, and the fact that Dillian White just simply got into the ring with Oscar Rivas with gloves that weren't approved, right? Or Monster Inoue, who fought Nonito Donaire, who complained about his gloves. Whenever you have a glove issue, the sanctioning bodies or the state commissions should be willing to answer questions for people that were concerned that there was some malfeasance going on. And in the case of Tyson Fury, there was almost none of that. But in this particular case, Everlast just came out and said, okay, yeah, here, this is the deal. So I got to say, okay, good deal for Everlast. But at the same time, Terence Crawford probably shouldn't get a lot of criticism about it, right? Other than if it was true that they knew it was busted, they knew the gloves were busted, and they got in the ring with busted gloves, because you would think that you would have a second pair of gloves that were not busted. But maybe that goes into, this trend that there is in boxing with these custom gloves. And people like Amir Khan have said, look, man, custom gloves, is a bit of a problem, because you can order those gloves to have your padding in any kind of position away from your knuckles, which can in effect make those gloves even more dangerous for the person that you're fighting, right? Not saying that was the case with Terence Crawford in this fight, because obviously I have no idea, but those are all valid questions to bring up and things to talk about, especially for anybody that's concerned about fighter safety. Now that the question is answered, though, it is what it is. Doesn't look like Terence Crawford went out of his way to mess with his gloves or anything like that. So, it is what it is, and hopefully it doesn't happen again and it was just a freak accident. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.